Hi, hello, welcome back. So today we have some tech issues because the camera is very expensive. And since this is the very last class, I think so, let me extend my appreciation to our volunteers who have been helping me, Randy and Yap Ying, especially. And I want to be like Kashila, to be always grateful. If I notice what I notice from Kashila is he always thanks the people around him. And I kind of like sometimes takes for granted. I kind of take for granted, And I feel that, oh, I should have thanked people more and be more grateful. And so I want to extend my um, heartfelt thanks to Randy, who happened to be my son. Okay. He's in my class, in the other ACI class, and Yap Ying, who has been with me for a long, long, long time. So thankful to the young people, and they are still in the university. This is his Zoom hall from his uni. Thanks to him, he helped me with a lot of tech stuff. I'm so grateful. And also Yap Ying, another student of mine who is in the um, Big Four. So for taking the time to always help me with a lot of things, and really so thankful. And they are the young leaders in the future. They will be the one who will have to share the Dharma. Okay, so today is our chapter 10, second part of that. And today is June 4th, who is also the birthday of my second son. Okay, supposed to have dinner with him. So I said, no. Okay, I have my ACI class. We have dinner on another day. Battery is also busy. Okay, so, okay, wow. Okay. Happy birthday to your dad, Angela. Whoa, 94. Wow, I need to rejoice on that. Ooh. Okay. If he's here, let us know at the end of the class. I can sing him a happy birthday song.
They say that when a person too old, I don't know, is it a myth or what? Like say too old, cannot have grand celebration. They say.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The Chinese believe. I don't know. Yeah. They said not to have a grand celebration.
Yeah. So about his son also don't know his birthday.
A simple one is okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody is in. We can start now. Okay, let's not waste our time. We will start with our motivation. So just get ready, be comfortable, close your eyes. And bring your mind to your breath until you hear from me again. And now let's take a few moments to think about our life. What are the problems that we are facing? Like things that I don't wish to see it happen. The things that I want, I can't get it. Or feeling frustrated, or worries, anxiety. And think about how wonderful it will be if we are free of all these. And we learn that in this class, we learn that we are putting a crack into how we are perpetuating our problems in our life, that we are putting a crack into our habitual reaction that is causing us to perpetuate our suffering, causing us to collect the karma, the negative karma that cause our suffering in the future. And we recognize how precious this gift that we have right now. And we are so grateful in our hearts, and there's no way we can pay back, and there is no payment for the class. And so we want to offer the mandala, the offering of the perfect world that we will help to create. From what we learn, we are going to put into practice and make this world a better place for everyone, to be a better version of ourselves, for ourselves and for others. And so we offer the mandala, followed by taking refuge. Here is the great earth, filled with the smell of the incense and covered with a blanket of flowers. The great mountain four lands, wearing a jewel of the sun and the moon. In my mind, I make them the paradise of the Buddha, and I offer to you by this deed. May every living being experience the pure world. Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kamniyatayami. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the highest community through the merit that we do in giving and the rest. May we reach Buddhahood for the sake of all beings. Go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the highest community through the merit that I do in giving and the rest. May I reach Buddhahood for the sake of all beings. Go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the highest community through the merit that I do in giving and the rest. I will become a Buddha for the sake of all beings. And may it be so. May come back when you're ready. Okay, so chapter 10, part 2. Chapter 10 is on how empty things still work. Basically, we are talking about the function, how empty things can function, emptiness and function. This is the last chapter. but still come next week, okay? We are not, we still have 2 more classes. And we talk about even though things are empty, they still work. We explain that this is a wimpy way to say even though things are empty, they still work according to Keshila. And so we say because things are empty, they work. Because things are empty, they work. They work, things work because they are empty. Things work because they are empty. If they are not empty, they couldn't work. If they are not empty, they couldn't work because they cannot change, okay? If they are not empty, they couldn't do anything. And so we can say that things work because they are empty. Okay? Things work because they are empty. Or because they are empty, things work. And how things work? Things work by way of our projection. How things work? Things work by way of our projection. And that is very important. That is like the key, it's like, oh yeah, I understand. But I feel that there is a deeper meaning to that, yeah. Okay, so things work because they are empty. So when we see things change, it is because our projection is shifting, shifting, shifting. And our projection is constantly shifting moment by moment, moment by moment. And we look at the example of medicine last week. We say medicine is empty and therefore they can work. They can work by way of our projection. The medicine is empty and therefore they can work if we got loaded with our bullets, we load it with our seeds. Right? If we load it with the seeds, then they can work. They can work or not work depending on our karma. So the medicine can work because they are empty. And how they work? They work by way of our projection. If we have the karma, we have loaded with the seeds, with the right karma of helping other people. How can we prove that? We say that the same medicine, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work. Sometimes, maybe for certain people, they get well, they get better after they take the medicine. For some people, they get worse taking the same medicine. And for some people, they have no response at all. And that proves that the medicine worked not from their own side. Okay? They're 100% empty and they work by way of our projection. If we have loaded with the bullet with the seeds. And the next one we want to give another example would be investment. Okay, investment using the same logic. The floor is yours because it's empty, right? They can work. Which investment strategy should we? I want to get rich. Should I go for the aggressive strategy so that I can make money really fast? or should I go for something conservative? Okay, should I go for something conservative? Which one? If it is empty, we say that, well, neither works if we don't have the seats for that. So we have to load it with the seats. We have to load it like the stapler, we have to load it. How to prove that? I think all of us got a story to tell. Anybody, the floor is yours for the investment. Anybody want to jump in and help us to connect the dot? Empty things function. Why they function? Because they're empty. Anybody want to jump in for the investment? Should we go for something risky? Should we go for something very conservative? Okay, we say risky investment. Does it always work? No, isn't it? Some people invest in Forex, they make a lot of money. And some people, they lose a lot of money. Okay. Or should I go for something like conservative? Say, conservative cannot make money, but some people conservative, they also make a lot of money. I heard from a lot of people who are much, like in my country, one of the banks called Public Bank, they say those days, I think many decades, if you hold the share, just buy one lot only, they say you will be a millionaire, just one share, because they have double and double over the years. So who says that conservative strategy doesn't work, right? If you have the seeds for that, it can work. Unfortunately, I don't have that time. I don't have money. If I know, I would want to go and grab one. So I think we all have our own story to tell about investment, right? The emptiness of the investment. Should we buy property? Should we buy shares? Which property to buy? Daniel got a lot of story. Wow, Daniel got a lot of money. You want to connect the dot, anybody? Emptiness and investment.
Maybe I want to share just yesterday only,
Okay.
Because I saw a newspaper article these two guys actually they are good friends so they in the end they become rival or enemy because of some investment issue because they come together to invest 6,000. Then this thing balloon until 150,000, no. But I don't know of what happened to them So then the reporter he say okay, the reporter he put 250, he make next few days he make 800 over, no. Then I said, wow, so lucrative. Maybe I want to come and try, such a good investment. Yeah. So then I tell my friend, I say, hey, I'm going to park $250. It's not a lot to try my luck. They say, hey, crazy lah. It's a scam lah, this and that. I said, but reporter try leh. He want to prove he try, he make the money. I said, so good money. Wow, very attractive to me, Especially if you're tight, you want to try your luck already, I say, then a lot of my friends stop me, say, I tell you, after that, because our government also say that stop people from opening an account today. Stop. After today, stop. So yesterday is the last chance. They tell me left 30 over slot only. So I said, okay, maybe I try. So the investment company called me. So how you want to use credit card now? I said, I didn't bring credit card along. I said, never mind, we have QR code. I said, okay, QR code, okay. Actually, I nearly want to transfer already, Then, but before that, I text my friend because over lunch, I tell you, hey, after 2, they call me, let me eat my lunch. I tell the investment company, the manager. After 2 o'clock, I call me. Then in between, I text my friend, hey, should I eat a park? So attractive, And then after that lunch, I saw a lot of message. My friend, your kid discouraged me, say it's a scam, It's a scam. If they can stop you on the 4th June, that means the government will stop the whole thing already. You better don't go in. Yeah.
So what I hear from you would be, because Angela got the good seats, right? So she didn't fall into the scam.
Really fall into a scam because I was thinking $50 only. I take it as a gamble, lah, 2005 or take a gamble, and the reporter try. No. Then they tell me, hey, maybe this article not true, what somebody wrote out. I said, but no, it's true. The two person they fight over money, and one of them stabbed the person to death. No, so it's a police case, right? It's a true story. So I say, I think this reporter try lah. I want to take a gamble.
So you have the seeds. So what I hear is that you have the seeds, right? You have the good seeds that protect you from losing money, investment, into going to the wrong investment. So we have to hooray, yay! Okay. So the emptiness and the investment.
But I want to say something here. Today, the investment manager still calling me. So for me, it's like that if you keep calling me, that means something very suspicious. It's so good. A lot of people will invest. Why you got to keep calling me? To invest. So luckily, I did invest.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing. So we connect the dot. Okay. Emptiness of the investment, and you're protected in a way that she has the good seeds to protect her from the loss, from a lousy investment, from a bad investment, from a scam.
I don't know it's a bad or not. I don't know. But I think the way I see it, if the investment manager keep calling me, that means it's very suspicious really. Yeah.
Okay, so we connect that with our question number 1. So I have covered thoroughly. If I look at this one, the answer need you to cook a bit. Okay, why do things change? I did explain about that. Why do things change? And why do some things in our world cause other things? Okay, we talk about the medicine and the investment strategy. Okay, we say because things are empty and therefore they work. They work by way of our projection. Okay, and so when things change, when things work, they change. And our projection is because our projection is shifting moment by moment, constantly shifting. And so they give the example of the medicine that they are empty and therefore they can work or not work depending on our past karma. That is for question number 1. I would like to go for another example of emptiness and function. Let's talk about food, healthy food, fruits, vegetables, right? We say honey, all those good stuff. Emptiness and the food. Anybody want to apply what we have learned just now? For the first part, emptiness and the function. Emptiness and the food, healthy food. Do the food have something, some nature of their own that make it work? We say no, right? We learn to say no. They are empty. Then with the next question, maybe you want to ask, whoa, if they're empty, then how does the food work? How can the food work for me? Why you say they're healthy, isn't it? Right. So how they work? They work by way of our projection, means that by way of our good karmic seeds, of having helped somebody in the past, having taken care of people's health, having taken care of somebody's feeling, caring for somebody, okay, harmony, etc. All those good seeds. They are in our ACI 4, we know they are deeply hidden reality that we can, we won't go into in detail, that nobody can tell you if you do A, you will get B. But through logic, hidden reality, understanding of emptiness, we can roughly know the connection, right? Like make like, yeah. Good come from good, bad come from bad. So the food, is there something inside that make them work. If not, then we can, why bother? Why bother to eat apple at one, they say what, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Doing that, I'm taking an apple a day nowadays. So surely there's something good inside the apple. Otherwise, why the doctor say an apple a day keeps the doctor away? It is good for my health, all these things. What is the proof? 100% is empty. There's nothing in it from it that make it work. Really? Can you accept that? Do you believe that? It's some part of us we don't believe, isn't it? Some part we don't believe. We say, surely the apple must have something good inside the apple. But then we also understand that I really like this part where they say that because we have taken the life form, this life form that is created by certain pattern of reality, right? And this life form that we have taken this life form that I've taken is created by certain pattern of karma. Okay, certain karma that I have that make me to have this life form. And this karma that I have, they follow certain pattern of reality. And now I'm this human realm form. I'm in this human realm, this form that I've taken, right? They follow certain pattern of reality. And when they follow certain pattern of reality, is from my projection from my karma, not in it from it. Right? Can you see the connection? Think about that. Once you're able to connect the dot, you'll find it's very easy. A lot of things, a lot of things make a lot of sense. Okay. And so for normal people like me with the normal karma, having taken this form of life, I have to eat healthy food in order to be healthy. And so when they work, it is not from the food side. It is from my projection, from my karma. Okay. Emerald, okay. Emerald, I do a confession. I gave unhealthy food to others. So even I eat fruits, vegetable, but I'm not healthy. Do the 4 power. Emerald, I used to be like that. I'm sorry to say I have to confess. I used to like good food I keep, not so good I give away. Okay. So those not so good one we give away. I'm so sorry about that. I really, I feel, but it's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Okay. Recognize that, accept that, do the 4 power, and start to give nice, healthy food to people around you. That's it. So simple. Okay. I'm very positive. I know I'll get well. I know I'll get better and better. Recently, I checked also, I got a lot of my indicators getting better and better. I just don't care. You see, it is just one of the lifetime. Just keep on practicing on the right path. I don't really bother so much on the problem that I have, you see. It's part and parcel of samsara, okay? Okay, just keep on doing the right thing. And it's meant to be, it's come, it will come. If not, next life they will still come. Isn't it? At least we know you'll get better and better. Okay. One more thing. What about sunrise? Sunrise. Surely the sunrise, we see the sunrise or sunset. Surely there is something, they have some nature of their own, right? Everybody say that this is sunrise, this is a sunrise, this is a sunset. And so for the higher middle way, everything is empty, including the sunrise, sunset. They are also a projection. What is a proof? Really, not everybody sees sunset or sunrise. We know. Blind people, they don't. People in the cave, they don't. People in the prison, they don't. People who are in a certain realm, they don't see lights. Those beings in the deep ocean, they don't. Okay? Yeah. And if we see, remember I said I like the form, you have taken certain life form, they follow certain pattern reality, and that will explain a lot when you are like, why the dog, why I see in that way, Remember go back to the three beings looking at a a glass of liquid. That is a perfect example, I can tell you. Think about that. Don't underestimate that, okay? They see the parts that they see. That is the keyword, huh? You see, a lot of people, they are stuck there when they say, oh, they see this, I see as a water, the preta see as a past. It's not like that. You see the parts that you see. You're forced to see the parts that you see, the reasonable basis, because of your karma. Remember, you're in that realm, okay? You see the parts that you see that flop over into the result, whatever you're experiencing due to your karma. Okay, that explains why you see certain parts, you keep on arguing, sure, I'm sure there's some parts inside there. Even the parts is also coming from my projection. Because of the life form, certain life form that I've taken, I see certain parts in a certain way, right? I see certain parts, the reasonable basis, we call it the reasonable basis. Yeah. I have a lot of example for that. If you still don't understand, you private message me. I'll give you very good example, okay? Okay, so let me go for question 2. I want to cover question 3 now, question 3. Okay, so now, we talk about the next one will be, we talk about the lower middle way, the 50-50 school, right? So they argue that the parts, we just talk about the parts, isn't it? Surely the parts, there's something in the parts. I'm sure there's something in the parts. Then why are we seeing this part and not another part? So for them, they still feel that there is some, the parts, they have some nature of their own. The parts can be the color and shape. So why I see in that way? Why I see in that way, right? But then we say that even the parts are also coming from me. How to prove that? We say if you go looking for the thing, the parts that get the label, you cannot find it. Okay, what you find will be more and more subtle parts, the parts of the parts, parts of the parts of the parts, more and more subtle parts appearing to you and then getting another label. Then you can try to work that in your meditation. Very fun, extremely fun, okay? So that shows that the parts, there's no self-existent parts or basis or raw data or color and shape out there on their own. Even the parts, the color and shape, the raw data, the reasonable basis or whatever you call that is also coming from my projection. Okay, so that's one thing that I want to talk about, the lower middle way, okay? The argument. Second thing, then the lower middle way continue to say, what about causation, cause and effect? Causation, cause and effect. Let me show you. So for the lower middle way, they say causation. This cause, and then this is the result. Okay, the result, the papaya tree, surely they have some nature of their own, isn't it? The result, they have some nature of their own, and they come from the cause, the papaya seed, they have some nature of their own. Surely the cause and the result, the causation, or we call it the karma, they have some reality of their own. I cannot accept that as projection. Okay, that's lower middle way. Okay, I cannot accept that as projection. How can the cause and result is our projection? How can that be our projection? So the higher middle way will say that the cause and result is also empty. They are also empty. Empty of not coming from our projection. They're empty of not coming from my projection. When we say empty, doesn't mean that there's nothing at all. Okay, empty doesn't mean that there is nothing at all. Then why must this papaya tree come from papaya seed? If it is empty, then I can just put anything. I can just put anything, isn't it? Okay, and Kushla says that When you say empty, doesn't mean that anything can come from anything, okay? And in general, again, there are certain pattern of reality once we have taken certain form of life, okay? Once you have taken certain form of life, okay, I've taken this human form. This certain life form that I've taken is created by certain pattern of karma, and that karma follows certain pattern of reality. And the karma which create the papaya seed, the karma that create the papaya seed, okay, they follow certain pattern of reality of creating papaya tree. Okay, so when the papaya seed that we see, the papaya tree come from the papaya seed, right? It's not from the papaya seed alone, independent of my projection. It's from my projection, right? So that is the explanation. If you want great deeper explanation, you can look at our chapter 5 where we talk about the emptiness of karma. Go back and think about it. Emptiness of karma, chapter 5 here. Okay, we say when there is a cause, we say this is a cause, the so-called cause, when there is a cause, the result has yet to come. And when we have the result, the so-called result, the cause is gone. They don't exist at the same time, right? So how can you say this is a cause for this result, or this is a result from this cause? The emptiness of karma, the emptiness of cause and result. The empty of what? Empty of not coming from my projection. How can they work? They can only work by way of my projection. They can only work by way of my projection. The cause and result, the relationship, they do what they do by way of my projection. The relationship by way of my projection. And we learn in chapter 5, we say that cause and result, okay, they are connected in the mind stream of the doer, right? They're connected in the mind stream of the doer. And so they give the appropriate consequences. So you can go and look at chapter 5, yeah. Emptiness of karma is a very, very difficult subject for me also. I really cracked my head for so many years. And then finally I understand it, okay? It was so difficult, my goodness. I said, then I give up. That's why I said, okay, whatever, lah. I cannot accept that, I don't know why you say like that. Okay, just put it one side, think about it, put it on the shelf. Daniel asked, so the logic is also a karmic pattern? I would say yes, the emptiness of the logic. Okay. And let me see, Jasmine say, the food is empty. So why categorize them to healthy and unhealthy? Good questions, okay? Remember, when we say empty doesn't mean there's nothing. They're empty and therefore we can categorize as healthy and unhealthy. Remember the Diamond Cutter Sutra, the whole chapter is always like, oh, they don't exist. And so nominally speaking, we can call that a healthy food. Oh, they don't exist. And so nominally speaking, we can call it unhealthy food. What do you mean by nominally speaking? Nominally speaking means coming from my projection, okay? Coming from my projection in this realm, we call this healthy food. It doesn't mean that they are nothing, okay? Empty doesn't mean nothing. Empty of not coming from my projection. Think about that. That word I give you, the key word, okay? Otherwise, I really last empty. How can you say, what kind of logic is this? Okay. So put it on the shelf and think about that. I'm not very smart. If I can get it, I'm sure you can get it. Maybe you already get it, you just pretend you don't know. Okay. Okay, let me see. The third one will be lower middle way, got one more. Okay, lower middle way got three things in this class. One is the one that they say the raw data, the parts, they're out there on their own, they have some nature. That's one part they argue. Okay. The second part is the causation. They cannot accept. How can causation, cause and result also projection? Cannot be. There should be something that only that I project. Okay. Then the third thing will be I don't understand this one. Okay, this one I don't understand the why it is in the syllabus. Okay, this question two. Okay, I read to you, or maybe somebody want to read this one. Is there anybody want to read this one? Explain.
Yeah, repeat a bit lah. As
Thank you.
why the higher part of Madhyamika school does not accept the unqualified belief of the lower part in wrong and right deceptive objects. The unqualified division into wrong and right deceptive object is based on a belief that some objects have their own true nature. Those that function as expected are right, and those that do not function as expected are wrong. Such a distinctive law is meaningless if both those that function as expected and those that do not so function to the perception of a non-ayat are elevated relative to the ultimate truth which an ayat understand. That is, both objects seem right and which seem wrong to a non-ayat are realized by an ayat to be wrong. Ultimately, without understanding the true nature of change as a simple projection, we misunderstand the nature of how anything works as expected.
Thank you, Angela. Okay, let me explain to you. Okay, so for the lower middle way, the 50-50 school, for them there is a distinction between the right deceptive object and the wrong deceptive object. Okay, what is the difference? The right deceptive object would be like the lake. The picture you can see on my right hand side, the top right. Okay, this is a lake. Okay, we know there's a lake, there's a water there, and I can drown in the lake. They work, they function in that way. They function the way that I expect them to function. And so they are the right deceptive object. Okay, whereas the bottom picture is a mirage. Mirage. Mirage is like, if you're in a desert and then you see that from far, you can see water, isn't it? Then you will run, you are very thirsty, so you're trying to run to the place there to get some water. When you reach there, it's not water, there's no water. That one is called mirage. So mirage is a wrong deceptive object. It is a wrong deceptive object because you think that there's a water there, but there's no water. It is a wrong one. Okay, so this is the distinction made by the lower middle way. So the higher middle way, okay, the higher school say that, well, this is not necessary. It is meaningless. It is useless. It doesn't have any meaning at all to distinguish between a deceptive, whether they are right deceptive object or whether they are the wrong deceptive object, because both are deceptive. Both are also deceptive. Why both are also deceptive? They are both deceptive in the sense that they look like they are coming from themselves, but actually they are both also coming from us. Both equally are coming from us. Both are also our projection, isn't it? My projection to see a lake, my projection to see a mirage. Okay? So that is explanation. I don't understand why the significance. I can only tell you only because I also don't know why want to make that kind of distinction. What is the rationale to differentiate in that way? And so this is in your question too. Let me see any question. KL Wong say karma is empty because karmic result also depend on other condition. You are right, okay? KL Wong, you're right. So karma is also empty. They're empty of, remember the three schools, the functionalist school, cause and condition, because they are also depending on other cause and condition for the first school, okay? For the second school, the 50-50, because they also depend on other parts, okay? They have parts. And then the last one would be because they are, we know, the empty of not coming from my projection. There are many meaning, many similar, different words, but similar meaning. They are empty of not coming from my projection. Okay. They are also dependent on me labeling them. They are also dependent on me thinking and calling them, yeah, in a certain way. So we go for question 3. Okay. This one I've covered. This one lower middle way about the causation, cause and result. Okay. Is there anybody want to read this one? Causation, cause and result.
Okay, let me read. Explain why the lower part of the Miyamika school, those of the independent group, believe that results have some nature of their own, come from causes which are something other than the result, and which also have some nature of their own. The independent group believes in results which have some nature of their own, and which come from causes which are something other than the result, and which also have some nature of their own. They are forced to say this because they cannot accept the idea that cause and effect is all nothing but label through a projection. That is, they do not see how causation and change itself can be simply a mental idealization. This is the root of almost all their differences with the higher Miyamika school.
Madhyamika.
Okay.
Madhyamika school. Thank you, Kiel Wong. Okay, so this one I've already explained just now. I said the lower middle way for them, they still cannot see then how cause and result, or we call it karma or causation, how they are also coming from our projection, right? I already explained that. Say, this is question 3. Next one, we go for question 4, my only school. My only school. Okay, before we, I think we read the question first and the answer, then only I explain, okay? Explain why the my only school believes that there must be a basis consciousness where certain seeds created by karma are stored and then later give their results. Okay, my only school is also a functionalist school. That is a key word, very, very important. When we say functionalist school, means that they believe that when things do something, they function, they have some nature of their own, even though not self-existently, they have their cause and conditions. Okay, that is a functionalist school. They have some nature of their own. Basis consciousness. What is basis consciousness? We have learned this before. In our mind, for my only school, they create this thing called the 8 consciousness. Okay, they have this consciousness, we call it kunshi, right? Kunshi, basis consciousness, or we call it storehouse consciousness. This one, the fridge, if you still remember, we learned this. This is where the seeds are stored, according to the My Only School. Kunshi, Nampa, Shepa, the 8 consciousness. They say this is where our foundation consciousness, all our seeds are stored, the foundation, the storehouse of our suffering, all our suffering come from this foundation consciousness. Why they have a kunshi? Because as we mentioned just now, my only school, they believe they are functionally school, right? So they believe that if things function, if things do something, they have some nature of their own. And because they have some nature of their own, then the seeds need to stay somewhere. So they create this concept called kunshi. The seeds are subtle, what do you call that? Let me see, there's a word. Subtle material thing. For them, it is a subtle material thing that you need to keep somewhere. You have to place the seed somewhere, where they place it in this fridge. I call it fridge, okay? Okay. So my only school believe there must be a basis consciousness, the fridge, okay, the storehouse consciousness, or you call it the foundation consciousness, a place where you keep the seeds, where certain seeds created by karma are stored and then later give their results. Okay, so the seeds in our mind, before they become the result, they need a place to stay. So they create this concept, kunshi. Why? Because for them, they still cannot accept that result is just projection, mental idealization. We say it's the mental image coming out of our mind. So they need to create this place where the seeds are kept until they become the result. So just to refresh your memory, we study in ACI 5, chapter 5, how seeds are being, how mental seeds go into our mind. Okay, we say how they go into our mind. Okay, the first one, mental seeds are planted through our awareness of what we do, say, and think. If you still remember, we say that when we do something, when you yell at somebody, as the deed come to conclusion, the energy gets smaller and smaller, smaller. Then the energy kind of like stay in the mind. And then a mental seed, or we call it bakchak, is planted, is created. Mental seed is created. Okay? Then those bakchak, or those mental seeds, they stay in the foundation consciousness according to the mind only school, like we just mentioned, the fridge. They stay there, they replicate, then they transfer the energy from the older one of themselves to the newer form. They stay there. Okay. And then when the conditions are right, the mental seed ripen into an awareness of our experience. Okay, awareness of our experience. And the difference with the higher school is this one. The rest all the same except the foundation consciousness. Except the foundation consciousness. For the higher middle way, the higher school, for them, they don't need a place to stay. All the seeds that we have planted on imprint, they just simply stay with you. They call it the unexamined you, the simple unexamined you. Just you, generally just you. You. Technically, we are where the seeds stay. What is the simple unexamined you? Is a simple awareness of myself as I see myself due to my karma and call this me. Okay? It is the simple me that flow along from moment to moment. That is hard, okay? That I need to cook for a long, long time, okay? So you put it on the shelf and cook on that, okay? So for my only school, they need a place, okay? The seed need a place to stay before they become the result. And that is the difference, okay? Yeah. I really like the Mind Only School. If you have not attended my ACI 5, go to the 5.5, chapter 5. I really love that so much. Okay? The Mind Only School. What the Mind Only School says. The subject and the object, they come from the same seed. Okay? The subject means my mind experiencing the yelling balls. And the yelling balls that I think I'm seeing, right? They come from the same seed. They are not separate. Mind Only School, okay? So is there an angry yelling boss outside? The angry boss that I'm experiencing is not separate from my consciousness. My only school is very challenging, but I'm happy I understand that. Okay, I spend so much time, crack my head until I always have to go back to the picture and help me, if okay, they come from the same seed. But I had for a long, long time, I had a difficulty understanding this. I get very confused, but finally I understand, okay. They come from the same seed. The subject and object come from the same seed. The subject is a mind. My mind that's experiencing the yelling boss, okay? And the yelling boss that I think I'm seeing, the keyword, the yelling boss that I think I'm seeing, they come from the same seed. Is there a yelling boss outside on their own? According to my own saying, no, there is no yelling boss that is separate from my consciousness. But doesn't mean that there is no yelling boss at all, okay? Remember, functionally school, they do function. They have some nature of their own, but not self-existent. Means that they have their cause and condition. I know it's very confusing, okay? You go back to the functionalists, we say things exist independence upon their causes and condition, okay? It's not self-existent. They have their causes and conditions, okay? But the one that I'm experiencing, the one I'm experiencing is not separate from my consciousness, okay? The one I'm experiencing is not separate from my consciousness. So if you don't get the mind only school, I tell you, I suggest that you just understand one thing only. Which one that you think that you understand, hold on to that one. Don't learn everything. Like for me, it's like that. Because some of those things that you heard is from ACI 15. I'm giving you everything, one package. Okay, you understand? I'm not giving you partial. Because when I learned last time, it's like this one. Then I get very confused, whether is there outside or not, no outside, outside or not outside, everything is, I get so, so I'm giving you everything. Okay, I want to give a complete picture first, but doesn't mean that you have to get everything. So complete picture, you learn one thing, you hold on to the correct thing. For me, my style of learning is that I want to learn the correct thing first, learn the correct thing. Then I add on, I have the same notes, right? I refer back. Then slowly I know how to put the puzzle together. Okay? Right, so mind only school, when we say subject and object, they come from the same seed. A lot of people misunderstand, okay? I really think about it. Okay, look at my chapter 5, it's very, very good. Okay. I finally got finally, otherwise it's so confusing. So I leave it with you with that, because for this chapter, they don't need all the details. They just need you to only one small part only on about the kunshi. That's it. So easy, isn't it? Yeah, all you need to know is that for the Mayoni school, they have a kunshi. They need a place to stay because they are functionally school. They have some nature. But for the higher school, they don't need. They say just a projection. It's just projection. Where is the seat? Just your projection. Hello. They don't need another place, okay? It's just your projection. It's just your mental idealization. Moment by moment. Me and my experience, me and my experience, me and my experience. That is hard, okay? Okay, last one. We come to the last one. Things are empty. I don't have to be moral. Okay, I can do anything I want. Things are empty. That is a wrong way of thinking, because things are empty, and therefore the more I have to be moral. The more you understand emptiness, the more we are able to keep our morality, the more we are able to do our perfections well, right? Remember, perfectionizer. Okay, they help to bring us to the state of perfection. Okay? The more we understand things are empty, the more we want to be moral. We want to keep our morality. We want to be kind. We want to be nice. Okay? And we'll become a better version of ourselves. Okay? So I like these are two sides of the coin. Karma and emptiness is two sides of the coin. Okay? They're two sides of the coin. Karma and emptiness. Karma is the appearing reality, whatever that we are experiencing, right? And the emptiness is the blank screen, the potential, the absence of anything that's not coming from my projection, okay? The blank screen. Like this one. Whatever we do, say, and think is like the what? The projector, the one that record down what we do, say, and think, that project out our reality. So don't feel bad if something bad is happening, doesn't go our way. Be very, very happy that we are here, and as a human, we are here. We are so rare and so precious to be here. We have a lot of goodness to be here, to learn, to want to become a better person already. So rejoiceable. Okay? If we don't want to be a better version of ourselves, we don't have to be here, okay? So obviously we all understand emptiness. Yeah, we understand. That's why we want to become a better version of ourselves. Okay? The more we understand emptiness, the more we want to become a better version of ourselves. Because whatever we do, we know is how we create our future reality. Correct? What we do, say, and think create our future reality. We say by way, whenever we say by way of our projection, we know the projection is forced upon us by our karma from what we do, say, and think in the past. And so we want to be moral, we want to be kind, we don't want to be rude, correct? We don't want to yell at other people, we don't want to take everybody's credit, we don't want to take the teacher away from other people and say bad things about other people and want to like monopolize, only want to keep the teacher to ourselves, all these things we want to share. Okay, we want to share our teacher. I don't need the teacher. Just give to all of you. You want it, you just take. Okay. I'm the kind always run away. Yeah. I always say good thing. I always say good thing about other people to my teacher. One thing I would want to, I'm not saying I'm a good person, but I always say good thing about all the students to my teacher. I always report good things to me. I've said that, oh, teacher, this Raymond, he's doing this for us, Oh, this Emerald, she's doing this for us, Oh, Isu, she's doing this for us, Oh, Daniel is doing this for us, I always tell teacher the good thing that everybody who contributes. So my teacher, she knows, I don't take all the credit. And I think that is the only thing I do well. I'm not perfect, but there are things that I don't like to take a lot of responsibility. Okay. Okay. So they just fall on my lap. Then I have no choice. Then I have to do. Many times you see me sharing a Dharma. Actually, it's coincident. I tell you, it's an accident, okay? Yeah. And my name already appeared and I got a shock. Then I have to, no choice. Then I have to share. So things are empty, but thank you for the opportunity to share. Okay. Okay. So morality, the more we understand, we know morality is very important, isn't it? How could anybody think that morality is not important? When we think morality is not important is when we don't understand emptiness well enough. And I'm guilty of that also. Sometimes when things get too hard, right? I want to get my way, then I start to think about myself only. Okay, and I want to be correct. Okay, and I want to be correct. Then I want to, do something not so kind. Okay. So let me read this on question 5. Explain why the viewpoint expressed by Huashang and others that morality is unnecessary because things are empty is totally mistaken. All objects in the world are like empty screen, like we say they're blank, okay? And what we see on them is totally a projection. When we say projection is real, okay? When we always misunderstand and think that when we say projection, we think it's not real. No, because it's our projection and therefore it's real. How things work? Things work by way of our projection and therefore they are real. Okay. And where the projection come from? Projection come from what we do, say, and think that plant and imprint in our mind. The seed, the bakchak, okay, they stay in our mind, whether good or bad. Okay, those are the seeds in our mind that create our reality. So those imprint placed there when we did something either good or bad in the past. Therefore, because things are empty, we must be good and moral in our personal lives. If we want to be forced by our karma to see the world as a tantric paradise in the future. Okay, this is easy. I don't think we need further explanation, further debate. Well, I think we all know how and why. It's just that sometimes, we need to keep on learning. Yeah. The natural reaction is the thing that we need to fight. The natural reaction. And so how to create a tantric paradise? How to create our Buddha paradise? How to create our Buddha paradise? Remember, why isn't Okming suffering? So we learn, why isn't Okming suffering? How to create our Buddha paradise. There are many answers. It's so wide, isn't it? Let's see. How can we create our Buddha paradise? We are here because we want a better, of course, we want our better version of self. What is the shortcut now? See this one? Look at the plus and the minus. For me, it's like the balance sheet. What is the plus and the minus? Like the balance sheet. What we need to take out and what we need to put in. That picture is just a hint. Yeah, exactly. I should say the seeds in the paradise, all too good. There is no more mental affliction that results suffering. So we need to take out mental affliction, isn't it? Mental affliction will cause us to collect negative karma that cause our suffering. So they don't have mental affliction. That's one thing. And what is it? That one is a minus, isn't it? Like a balance sheet, got positive and negative. So the negative, we already minus the mental affliction. So I need to minus my mental affliction. Oh, my frustration, my upset, my blaming other people. Okay. Yeah. That one is a negative. What is the, we have another negative that we can take out? Yes. So Raymond is his explanation is from the 4 truth. Okay. So you take out your suffering and your cause of suffering. Exactly. What is take out your suffering? Which is your yeah, correct, your suffering, take out your negative karma, right? What caused your suffering is your negative karma, right? Your negative karma. So just now we minus one is a mental affliction. Number two, we minus the negative karma that caused our suffering. Both also cause suffering. Raymond say, up, give up our suffering and the cause of suffering. What is that? I should say mental affliction, and another one will be negative karma, right? Because negative karma is causing my suffering right now. Why am I suffering now? Because of my negative karma that I had, right? Yeah. And the mental affliction, I'm upset, I'm angry, I'm blaming Aisu. So I'm going to say something really harsh. Okay. So the mental affliction is a trigger for you to collect more causes of suffering in the future. So take out these two things. These two things that cause our suffering, or you can call it three things, either two or three, doesn't matter. Then what is a positive thing that we need to do? That one is the negative, right? Okay, before that, when we want to take out this thing, how to take out? How to take out this negative side, the balance sheet. We are talking about the balance sheet negative. Take out the mental affliction, take out the negative karma. They cause our suffering and the cause of self-suffering. 4 power. Angela said, do the 4 power. Yes, correct. Do the 4 power. And what else we can do? Very, very powerful one. We see so powerful. Yes. Raymond said direct perception emptiness. Yeah. Okay. The key thing is I would like to put it in one word would be, yeah, you say do the 4 power. Okay. 4 power is under, we have one very, very powerful thing we say is understanding emptiness, right? Or like Raymond said, direct perception emptiness. If you're not at path 3, then understanding emptiness, doing the Dhammakata Sutra. Understanding emptiness means that the whole chapter is talking about nothing, there's not a single thing that have any natural existence. Nothing have any true existence. We are trying to put a crack into that. Put a crack into that. Nothing exists truly. Putting a crack into that. Okay, very good. All emptiness is all correct. Okay, so the first part negative done. So the positive one will be, somebody already answered that. Emerald, is it Emerald? No, who say that? Angela say plant the opposite seeds. Okay, the positive one, you plant the opposite seeds. Can you refine, anybody can give me another word, something along that way? The positive one, what we do? to reach this state of perfection? The positive one. Collect merit, yeah. Okay, I won't say collect merit, doing the collect the merit, doing what? So we want to create our Buddha paradise right now, isn't it? Yes, Daniel said, be good and generous with other people. In one word, Raymond say, the path, which is the what path? Bodhisattva path, doing the sixth perfection. Not only perfection of wisdom, doing the sixth perfection. Right? Not doing all the six perfections. Okay, they're all inside. Okay, Jasmine say purification, we're already done with the negative. Okay. We are not in the positive side. Okay, so to sum up, how to create our Buddha paradise. Okay, maybe you can, whatever your version of Buddha paradise, okay, the better version of ourselves, to be a happy being. We want to be in a happy place, right? The negative thing, the minus, take out the mental affliction and the negative karma by understanding emptiness. As we understand emptiness, that is the antidote for us to do the four power, right? When we understand emptiness, we say mental affliction and emptiness, they are the opposite. They cannot coexist. So if I understand emptiness, surely I cannot get upset, isn't it? Right? So done. Mental affliction is done. That's how I slowly kill my mental affliction. Right? If I understand emptiness, that's how I purify my negative karma. Okay? How I purify my negative karma? As I understand emptiness, they stir the negative karma inside us. The deep, deep, deep karma will come up. They will come up. They'll come up earlier and ripen earlier in a smaller way. Okay. Why they ripen in a smaller way? Because their companion, okay, understand emptiness is so powerful, they stir the karma, right? Because the companion of mental affliction is absent. Without the companion of mental affliction, support, those karma don't have the power to give the expected results or the full results. Right? So understand emptiness is so, so, so powerful. They help us to get rid of these two negative that we want to get rid. And the positive one, we do the bodhisattva activities, the six perfections. Okay? Means that your mind, oh, I want to become a better person. I want to reach this state of perfection. Yeah, I'm doing these good deeds. So must have negative and positive, okay? Negative take out, positive collect the merit, like Kia Wong say. Okay, so that sum up our class today for chapter 10. Let me see, I have 10 minutes. I will do a dedication, and after that, I will give you your question for your final exam. All right? Or if you have any question to ask, you can keep it, and then we can answer it next week. Okay, next week, if you have any questions. Give me the question in advance if can. Okay? Let me have a bit of time to think about it. Okay? And okay, so let's do a dedication. So I invite you to close your eyes. And be very, very happy with yourself that you are here, that we have completed ACI 6. Woohoo! Wow, we have gone through the emptiness of the wish, the emptiness of the body of the Buddha, the emptiness of the teaching, the emptiness of a karma, the emptiness of mental affliction, the emptiness of a paradise, and how empty things work. And because things are empty, and therefore they can work. They can work by way of our projection. They can work if we have loaded it with bullets, with our seeds of kindness. And so really rejoice and be very happy that we are collecting this extraordinary goodness, these seeds that will help us to get rid of our negative emotion, that get rid of our negative karma, get rid of our suffering and our causes of suffering. And the understanding of emptiness is like the eye, our eye on this path, the path to perfection, the path to happiness, ultimate happiness, not only for ourselves, but for others. And so really rejoice and be very, very happy. And we want to share this kindness, this goodness that we have collected with every sentient beings in the universe. And may everyone, every being, in every form, anywhere, may they, everyone, be happy, be peaceful, be liberated, and be awakened and achieve the ultimate happiness. And I'll leave it to you for 3 exhale to send this goodness to every sentient beings in the universe as the light flowing out of you, touching every life. When you're ready, you can bring your mind back to the space here and open your eyes when you're ready. Yay!